Since 2019, the Tractor Bowl trophy has resided in Springville. That nearly changed last season, but a heartbreaking last-second loss kept the trophy with the Orioles. Tonight, the Wildcats aim to bring that trophy back to Central City. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's presentation of Wildcat Football on the Wildcat Sports YouTube page. I'm David Warrington, and the Wildcats are in Springville tonight, getting set for the annual Tractor Bowl trophy game with the Orioles. And before we get started tonight, I have to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank and Trust Company is a community bank with offices in Central City and Eastern Iowa, providing a complete line of financial services to commercial and retail customers, customized lending, and cash management solutions. We build strong relationships by getting to know our customers and understanding their needs. Learn more at www.hbtbank.com. So for the first time in a couple of years, Wildcats back here in Springville, getting set to take on the Orioles here in this Tractor Bowl trophy rivalry matchup. Let's take a look at both teams here tonight. First for the Wildcats. They are 4-1 this season, defeated Lone Tree, Edco, Key, and Midland to begin the year before losing to Easton Valley, the fourth-ranked team in the state, a week ago. That is their one loss so far this season. Assistant coaches for the Wildcats are Mark Kirscher, Mike Ferguson, and Spencer Nowadsky. Central City's head coach in his 8th season is Matt Myers. During his time with the Wildcats, Coach Myers has a record of 32 wins and 39 losses. Starting quarterback for the Wildcats is Jaden Hansen. The junior is 23 of 60 on the year, 388 yards, 8 touchdowns, and an interception. Aiden Klosterman, 98 carries, 527 yards, and 8 touchdowns on the year. That leads the rushing attack. In the receiving game, it's Lucas Greif leading the way, 14 catches, 173 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And Matthew Klosterman leads the way defensively, 30 tackles, 6.5 for loss, and 5 sacks. Makai Benton is the leader in tackles for loss as well as sacks. He's got 12.5 and 9 of those respectively to go with 29 tackles overall. And now taking a look at the Springville Orioles. They're 0-5 entering play here tonight. Losses have come to Waco, Edco, Key, Easton Valley, and Midland. 7 days ago right here in Springville, they lost their homecoming matchup to Midland by a final of 78-0. Assistant coaches for the Orioles are Jake Hewlett, Matt March, Jeff Menster, Nick Merritt, Tyson Jacoby, and Bo Zaruba. Springville's head coach in his 12th season is Joe Martin. During his time with the Orioles, Coach Martin's record of 60 wins and 54 losses. Starting quarterback for the Orioles, they will go with several different quarterbacks depending on the formation, but the leading passer is Jordan Goad. He is 8 of 40, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions on the season. And I think we're going to have our national anthem here shortly. May get cut off. So, folks, I will step aside briefly. I'll get you the rest of those offensive numbers for the Orioles, as well as some more pregame coverage when we come back here in just a moment. Right now, stepping aside for the playing of tonight's national anthem. National anthem has been played. We're just over 10 minutes away from kickoff here in Springville, and I will resume going over the offensive and defensive leaders for the Orioles. Said the starting quarterback is Jordan Goad. Leader on the ground and through the air is Bryce Ripple. The junior has 41 carries for 228 yards and a touchdown. He's also caught 4 passes for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. Defensively, Caden Weber leads the way for the Orioles. 30 tackles on the year, 4 for loss, and 1 sack. Dating back to 2006, this has been a fairly even matchup. Orioles lead the series 8 games to 7. Central City won several in a row from 06 until 2010, and they also won in 2017 and 18. It has been a few years in a row with an Oriole win these past few years. Wildcats looking to change things here tonight. Wildcats in Springville for the first time since 2020. That game was the season opener on August 28th. That was a 60-14 win for Springville. Wildcats stuck around for about a half, and then the Orioles took over from there. So the Orioles just took the field. Wildcats are doing so here in just a moment. But right now, why don't we go ahead and take a look at District 5, Week 5 results from last week. Of course, I mentioned at the time, 10th-ranked Central City was hosting 4th-ranked Easton Valley. Wildcats stuck with it for a half, but ended up losing that one 49-6. And Springville hosted Midland for Homecoming 2022, but it was all Eagles as Midland won that one 78-0. A couple of non-district games in there as well. Riceville went to Key and took down the Hawks 50-44. And Edgewood-Colesburg went to Maynard and took on West Central. The Vikings took down the Blue Devils there by a final of 52-32. That was the first game for a couple weeks for the Vikings. So here's an updated look at the district standings. Springville's 6th at 0-4. Midland is 5th at 1-2. Key and Edgewood-Colesburg are both tied for 3rd. They're both 1-1. Central City is 2nd. They are 3-1 in the district. And 4th-ranked Easton Valley is atop the district standings. They are a perfect 3-0. And looking at matchups tonight in the district, of course, here in Springville, I should say, Central City is taking on the Orioles. This is the district finale for both teams. Wildcats were supposed to face Calamus-Wheatland and Central Elkader down the stretch, and vice versa for the Orioles. But instead, things have been changed with those two dropping out of the varsity program. So Wildcats will go to Maynard next week and take on West Central. Then South Beloit of Illinois will come to Central City 14 days from now. Also in Lansing, it's a couple of teams that haven't played district football in a few weeks, as Edgewood-Colesburg is taking on Key. That will be the other district game here tonight. A couple of district teams are off. Midland and Easton Valley are both scheduled to play Elkader or Calamus-Wheatland. Both of those games have been nixed, and both of those teams did not reschedule. So it is just simply an off night for both Midland and Easton Valley. Those teams are not in action. So both teams are getting set to go to midfield. Only 2 captains for the Orioles. They've got Tristan Melanofi as well as Logan Mason. Both are seniors. Mason is not in uniform. He's in jeans and crutches. Melanofi is in uniform. Captains for the Wildcats, couple of seniors, couple of juniors. Aiden Klosterman, Dayton Price, Colton Nowadsky, and David Munyakazi. So we'll figure out how we're starting this game off here in just a moment. Wildcats here tonight wearing their white visiting uniforms with black numerals, red trim. They've also got the black football pants with red down the side. Got their red helmets with the black Wildcat scratch. Orioles wearing black home uniforms. They've got green numerals and trim on those. Believe that is for mental health awareness here tonight. They've got black pants with their traditional orange down the side, and they've all got high green socks also for that mental health awareness. So again, both teams have their captains at midfield, just 2 captains for Springville, 4 for Central City. Here's the result. Springville won the toss, and they will receive, so Central City will kick off. Now they're going to send them their respective directions. So Central City will kick off to begin this game, and they will do so right to left. Orioles will return left to right. That's how we're getting started here tonight between Central City and Springville. As we get set to go, let's take a look at some starting lineups. This is based on both teams last week, what they brought out there. Starting offense for Springville. Along the offensive line, the guards are Tristan Melanofi and Seth Stone, a senior and junior respectively. Dawson Dooch plays center. He's a sophomore. Christian Anguiano is the tight end. He's just a freshman. Wide receiver is Jordan Goad. Bryce Ripple's the fullback. Caden Weber's the running back. And Braden Jordan is the quarterback under center. Last week, the Wildcats started out in a 0 formation with twin receivers to either side. Offensive line, they've got David Munyakazi and Dayton Price at the guards. Nolan Gates plays center for Central City. And then a week ago, Braden Rickles, Aiden Klosterman, Matthew Klosterman, and Lucas Greif all split out as receivers. Typically, both Klosterman brothers will be a running back. But last week, they did start the game at receiver. And the starting quarterback for Central City is Jaden Hansen. Defensively for Springville, they started out in a 4-3-1 defensive front. And when I say that one defensive back, that's only if it's a passing formation, because otherwise they'll be right up there within 4 yards of the line of scrimmage. Left to right in the defensive line, Seth Stone, Tristan Melaniphy, Bane Anderson, and Connor Williams. Linebackers are Jordan Goad, Caden Weber, and Bryce Ripple. And Andrew Unash was the defensive back last week, but I believe I saw him in jeans earlier on tonight, so he may not be suited up. Yep, there he is over on the sideline. He is not in action, so their starting defensive back will not be out there. And for Central City defensively, they do switch it up quite a bit. They have pretty much 2 full lines of defensive players that can go in and out. But here's how they'll get started. They started in a 3-2-3 look last time, as defensive line was Favre Weber, David Munyakazi, and Makai Benton. Weber and Benton are the ends. David Munyakazi is the big guy up front. Christopher Greif and Dayton Price will play linebacker. Nolan Gates and Aiden Klosterman are cornerbacks for Central City. And last week, Lucas Greif got the start at free safety, trying to make sure he keeps everything in front. It's a nice presentation at midfield just a moment ago. Again, Mental Health Awareness Night here in Springville, so nice presentation out there. We are getting set to go here in about 3 minutes. Again, Central City 4-1 in the season, lost their first game of the year 7 nights ago to the 4th-ranked team in the state, the Easton Valley Riverhawks. Orioles have yet to get a win. They're 0-5 and have not played in a competitive 4-quarter game yet this year. They were competitive with Key for about 2 quarters before that one got out of hand later on. Again, David Warrington here with you from Springville. Wildcats begin a 2-week stretch of road games before coming back home on the 14th of October for senior night. Beyond that, it's playoffs. We don't quite know. I would think Central City's, if things hold to form, probably done enough to earn a home playoff game, but that all comes down to several things, district standings, and RPI is the big one. So that one we probably won't know until, I believe they release something at midnight of that last day of the regular season. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there, and I'll have more information as we get closer. One thing to keep in mind, playoffs for 8-player up until 2A start on the 21st of October. But for the bigger classes, not till the 28th, as they play an extra regular season game and only half as many teams come into the postseason. So we're just about set to go, as I believe the cross-country runners have just arrived. I drove past a couple of them running over their way to Springville on my drive over. Every year they run that football over from Central City to Springville or Springville to Central City in the case of last year. And this year's bunch of cross-country runners have arrived, and they get a nice round of applause. So both teams are out there to begin this game, but the cross-country runners are still out there, so we'll have just a moment. Central City will again kick it off right to left. Springville will return. They've got Jordan Goad and Caden Weber back deep to return the opening kickoff of the ball game. And I don't see Jaden Hansen out there this time, as now they've got Favre Weber alongside Connor Clark as the 2 kickers. So we'll see how this kickoff formation looks. 12 minutes are on the clock. We're just about set to go here from Springville. Wildcats trying to bring the Tractor Bowl trophy back home for the first time since 2018 is the last time the Wildcats won this rivalry matchup. So Central City looking to change that here tonight. Connor Clark sets the football on the tee at the 30-yard line. Both him and Favre Weber will march off their steps. And we're just about set to go here from Springville. It's Connor Clark and Favre Weber both putting their arms in the air. They come up to the football. Weber sends it away. It's an onside kick. Takes a super high bounce. That's anybody's ball. It's still loose, and Nolan Gates almost had it, but Springville will finally get it all the way over at their 22-yard line or so. That took a crazy bounce. But Springville does almost luck into recovering that one, as it nearly went Central City's way. But Springville will begin the game with the football, 1st and 10, from their own 21-yard line. It is Braden Jordan that runs into the huddle at quarterback. He has only attempted 2 passes this year, completing one for 17 yards. when they line up in the I formation, he is their quarterback. That's not the look here. Bryce Ripple is actually in the shotgun. Watch for him to run the football. Takes the snap up the middle. He won't have too much. Luke Birds, Aiden Klosterman, the ball comes out, but after the whistle, that would have been in scoop and score for Makai Benton, but the whistle came out first. And it will be second down and about 7 yards to go as the Orioles are right back up to the line after a gain of about 3 on that first carry. Same formation, Ripple in the shotgun, takes the snap, trying to go up the middle, finds a little room, going down the sideline. He's past midfield, tries to make a juke move, shoved out of bounds past the 30. Big gain on that carry by Bryce Ripple, as that will be a first down and more. They're not wasting any time. They're right back up to the football. Ball's at the Wildcat 26. Same look with Ripple in the shotgun. Don't expect him to pass it too much. He's only attempted a handful this year. That ball's loose. It's a fumble. It's still loose, and I think Luke Birds got on it. We'll wait for the call. And yes, it is Central City football. Luke Birds recovers the fumble. And after the big run, the Orioles cough it up. The ever-opportunistic Luke Birds gets on it. And Central City will have the football. First down and 10. They have it at their own 27-yard line. So first and 10, Central City from their own 25, or 27, I'm sorry. It's the Klosterman brothers back there. Arwen Betzer comes in motion. Jet sweep, Betzer on the left. Got some blocking past the 30. He's going to be shoved out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Christian Anguiano made the play. Anguiano, a freshman, getting the start both ways for Springville here tonight, as that was a gain of about 9 on that carry by Betzer. It'll be second down and the yard to go for the Wildcats from their own 36. As that was Arwen Betzer's first carry of the season. It goes for 9 yards. Now Lucas Greif comes in motion. They fake the jet sweep. Aiden Klosterman up the middle. Pass midfield. 30. And he's gone. Look at him like he was shot out of a cannon. Nobody's going to catch him. Aiden Klosterman goes to the end zone. 44 yards on the carry for Aiden. And the Wildcats strike first here in this Tractor Bowl Trophy matchup. So less than a minute in, the Wildcats strike first. Now Central City will go for 2. We'll see how they line up. They break the huddle, going up to the line of scrimmage. Twin receivers left. That's Luke Birds and Aiden Klosterman. Matthew Klosterman's in the shotgun. Christopher Greif is split out right, tight to the line of scrimmage. Aiden Klosterman comes in motion left to right. Handoff goes to Aiden. Jet sweep. He cuts it up and crosses the goal line into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is good. So the Wildcats add 2 more. 11:03 to go in our opening quarter here from Springville. And the Wildcats lead this game by a score of 8-0. Not too complex of a drive there for Central City. They go 53 yards on 2 plays. And the first time Aiden Klosterman touches it here tonight, he brings it 44 yards across the goal line. Had some blocks and then just exploded through the middle of that play. Nobody was going to catch him. And Central City strikes first. So while I've got a break in the action, I'll give a shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank is everywhere you are with our online and mobile banking apps. You have your accounts at your fingertips anytime, anywhere. Check your balances, pay bills, transfer money, and find Heartland Bank locations with just a touch. Bank on the go at hbtbank.com. Member FDIC. So both teams are back out there. Connor Clark and Favre Weber are there to kick it away once again. Remember, Favre Weber last time had the very nice onside kick that Nolan Gates nearly got to, but it did end up in Springville recovering it. Weber and Clark both have their hands in the air. They come up to the ball. This time it's Connor Clark, onside kick, and Seth Stone bobbles it but gets on it, I believe. Yep. Looks like it was Seth Stone, one of the front linemen there for Springville, that jumped on the football. And Springville will take over. First down and 10. They have the ball at their own 36-yard line. This is a new strategy for Central City this year. This is much more like what we saw from them last year. They've pretty much let Jaden Hansen put a boot into it all season. But something a little different here for this one. They go with a couple of onside kicks. So Springville football, first and 10 from their own 36. They were wasting no time last possession, going with the hurry-up offense. They're up to the line of scrimmage here. Trips receivers tight to the line on the left. But now they're in a 2-point stance. Not your typical receiver look, and everybody kind of leaves early. Bryce Ripple's in the shotgun. At least 2 guys left early. Braden Jordan as well as Connor Williams got a head start. But they're going to discuss, and it may have been on Central City. I think that's the discussion. But it is on Springville, sure enough. It is a false start penalty. 5 yards is that penalty. Back to the 31-yard line. And we'll replay first down. Or not even really replay. We'll try first down once again. From their own 31 for Springville. Orioles up to the line, same look. Got a bunch of up backs over on the left. Ripple in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Trying to find some room. Nearly gets out of the tackle, but Luke Birds hangs on and makes the play. As it'll be fortunate for Ripple to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on that play. Second down, 15 to go for Springville from their own 31-yard line. It's a pretty funky look that Springville's giving here as they're having their 3 linemen, but then they have almost 2 extra linemen with up backs behind them. They're on that far side of the formation. Now they flip it to the near side. Pretty much the same look. Ripple is in the shotgun here. Snap goes to Ripple, same thing. Now he's bumping it outside. Nearly breaks out of a tackle, but again, it's Luke Birds. They're on the far side of the field that grabs the ankles and makes the play. That time it was a little bit of yardage to be found. As Ripple gets it up to the 34-yard line. I think he's going to have to come out now as the head referee says something about equipment. I believe he has some form of necklace on, which is not allowed. So I believe that is what the pause is. And he's got it off, gave it to his coach. And now he's back into the huddle. Bryce Ripple, the leader of the Springville offense on the year. Ripple has 41 carries, 228 yards, and he's found the end zone once. He's also their leading receiver, 4 catches, 140 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Same look here with Ripple in the shotgun. Takes the snap. He's going to throw. He's in trouble right away. Mekhi Benton's there. Can't bring him down. Braxton Davis nearly has him and pulls him down from behind. Looked like he was going for a roll-up in the WWE, but makes the play and tosses him to the ground for maybe a gain of 1. They're going to spot it at 34, so no gain on that play. As it'll be 4th down and 12 yards to go. Presumably punting time for Springville as Lucas Greif goes back deep. Punter for the Orioles is Bryce Ripple. He averages just better than 30 yards per punt at 31.5. Long snapper for the Orioles is going to be Caden Weber, I believe. They are not lined up to punt, it doesn't look like, unless they're going to do some form of quick punt. Greif's back up within about 15 yards of the line of scrimmage. It is a quick punt, 1 step, and it's gone from Ripple, but it's a pretty good one. And it takes a nice bounce for the Orioles, and it's going to die right at the inch line. Braden Jordan hustles down there and knocks it over the goal line. The ball died right at the 1, but Braden Jordan on the punt team hustled down there and tried to slide on it when picking it up would have done just fine. And it goes over the goal line, so a 14-yard gain for Central City. They'll take over from their own 15. So 1st and 10, Central City from their own 15-yard line. 8:41 to go in the opening quarter. It's 8-0 Central City as they're up to the line. Matthew Klosterman is in the shotgun. They've got trips receivers right. Mekhi Benton, Aiden Klosterman in there as snap goes to Matthew. He will have a decent gain, not quite a first down, but up past the 20. Gain of about 7 on first down by the sophomore standout. As he will bring it up to about the 23. We'll call that a gain of 8. Matthew's first time touching the football here tonight. 2nd down, 2 yards to go for the Central City Wildcats. From their own 23, now Christopher Greif jogs into the huddle. I mentioned last week, Greif seems to have one just absolutely unbelievable carry where he knocks over 4 or 5 guys every night. We'll see if he can have one of those here tonight. Greif kind of lined up as something of an up back on this possession as Aiden and Matthew Klosterman are in the backfield to take the snap. This one goes to Aiden. Finds some room, but is run over and does fall forward for what should be a first down as Seth Stone made the play, but Aiden got just enough. As looked like Stone came in unblocked. But that is good for a gain of 2. And that will move the chains. 1st down and 10 for Central City from their own 25-yard line. 7:45 and counting to play in the opening quarter. Wildcats up 8-0. Aiden and Matthew back there again. Christopher Greif is the fullback. Snap will go to Matthew, going to the left, gets a good lead block. Has it past the 30, 35, fights ahead, taken out of bounds just shy of midfield. Braden Jordan and Connor Williams in on the stop, as that will be a gain up to the 39-yard line for Matthew. More than enough for a first down, as the Wildcats have it, just a yard shy of midfield. Matthew's had something of a standout season here as a sophomore. Didn't play all that much last year as a freshman. But this year, Matthew, 33 carries, 204 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He's been one of the main options offensively for Central City. Same look here. Aiden on the left, Matthew on the right in the backfield. Snap will go to Aiden, trying to find some room up the middle. Plunges through, past the 25, 20, there he goes. Aiden Klosterman goes 41 yards to the house, gets the ball taken away from him once he gets there, but crosses the goal line first. And that is a Central City touchdown. They extend their lead here early on in this game. For the second time tonight, Aiden Klosterman takes one a long ways to the house. It is 14-0 Central City, and they will go for 2. Twin receivers to either side here for the Wildcats. Matthew Klosterman by himself in the shotgun. Luke Birds and Aiden Klosterman on the left. Makai Benton and Lucas Greif on the right. Matthew takes the snap. He's going to scramble. He's got a pass to the pylon and finds it, goes across the goal line. And the 2-point conversion is good. So Matthew Klosterman adds 2 more, excuse me. 7:23 to go in our opening quarter. It is a 16-0 advantage for your Central City Wildcats. Central City that time goes 65 yards in 4 plays. And to cap it off, Aiden Klosterman goes 41 yards to the house. He's having quite the start to his night here tonight. Aiden Klosterman, 3 carries, 87 yards, and 2 touchdowns. His little brother has 2 carries for 22 yards, and Arwen Betzer ran it for the first time this season, and he gained 9 yards. Bryce Ripple's been the only offense for Springville so far tonight. Every play has been a direct snap, keep to him. And he's got 6 carries for 35 yards, and he did fumble it away on their opening possession of the ball game. So both teams are back on the field. Same look here on the kickoff. Connor Clark and Favre Weber are the 2 kickers. Either of them could kick it away. And they both are more than capable of sending a good onside kick. We've seen that already. As Weber and Clark will simultaneously march off their steps. Both have their arms in the air, and they're going to kick it off right to left to resume play. Weber sends something of a squib kick that's picked up by one of the front linemen. Connor Williams caught that one on the fly. So Springville will take over, first down and 10, just a little bit shy of midfield at their own 37-yard line. So Springville trailing Central City here early on, 16-0, 7:22 to go in the opening quarter. Orioles 0-5 on the season. Central City, 4 wins, 1 loss on the year. That 1 loss coming last week to Easton Valley. Orioles up to the line, first and 10 from their own 37. I formation, Jordan under center. I believe Luke Lansing is the fullback. Bryce Ripple's the running back, and looks like Dayton Price got a head start. It's a 4-3-1 look defensively here for Central City. Dayton Price is one of those 2 nose guards, defensive tackles, if you will. He got a head start, so it's offsides. And 5-yard penalty, so Springville has it at the Wildcat 38-yard line. So first down and 5 for the Orioles. Same look, they're in the I formation. Balanced on the line. And somebody left early. Now there's major miscommunication, as I don't think the quarterback, Braden Jordan, was expecting the snap. It's going to result in no gain. There's some miscommunication that time. In fact, they will lose a yard. So second down, 6 yards to go for Springville. They have it at the Wildcat 39-yard line after what clearly was not the play they had in mind. Under 7 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. 16-0 Wildcats. They're in the I formation, are the Orioles. Jordan takes the snap, pitch out to Ripple. It's fumbled. It's going back to the 30. He falls on it way back there at about the 25-yard line. That'll be a very sizable loss. More than 10 lost on that. Closer to about 15 yards lost on that previous play. Way back to the 26-yard line. So nearly a disaster for Springville. They managed to at least get back on it. They saved possession, but not what they were looking for as they try to get some momentum going here. Already down on the scoreboard by a couple of touchdowns early on. Third down and 21 yards to go from their own 26. As it's going to be a handoff in the middle to Bryce Ripple. Weber was in there right away. Got some help from Nolan Gates as they have third down over on the far sideline on the chain gang official marker there, but I have fourth down, and it sounds like the coaches up here with me also have fourth down. So I think they're going to get that figured out, as it also says fourth down on the scoreboard. So Bryce Ripple gained a couple on that carry up to the 28-yard line. It is indeed fourth down, 19 yards to go. Orioles have it at their own 28. Lucas Greif is back deep to return. Bryce Ripple will be punting here for the Orioles. He does something of a quick punt. It's one step and the ball's out of there. It's not even a true long snapper. It's just a shotgun snap. The right guard, Seth Stone, left early there. So the Orioles will have it backed up 5. And correction, it may be on Central City, and it is. Offside is actually the call. Looks like Stone was prompted to go over the ball. So it'll be 5 yards up to the 33. Fourth down and 14 yards to go for the Orioles. Would assume they're still looking to punt it. Bryce Ripple nearly had a perfect punt as it was dead at the 1, but then one of the members of his punt team running down there accidentally sent it over the goal line for a touchback. So Ripple is set to punt. It's only about 6 yards deep. They go on 3, and the punt is away. High, wobbly punt. Greif is going to field at about the 5, muffs the football, picks it back up. Now he's going to look to return. Down the sideline past the 20. He dances around a little bit and is finally taken down past the 25. Seth Stone made the stop for Springville. And it will be Central City football, first down and 10 yards to go. They have it at their own 26-yard line, leading this game 16-0. 4.5 minutes remaining in our opening quarter here from Springville. So first down, 10 yards to go for Central City from their own 26. Matthew Klosterman, Aiden Klosterman in the backfield. Christopher Greif, the fullback. Line is overloaded to the left. Greif takes the direct snap as the fullback. Up ahead, fighting ahead, past the 30. Still fighting. He will not go down. Christopher Greif finally taken down after a gain of about 8. He was met right away, but somehow gets the better part of a first down there. They're only going to need 2 yards to go here on second down, as that football's all the way up to the 34-yard line. Gain of 8 from Christopher. Second down and 2 coming up. Same formation, except Aiden's on the left this time, Matthew on the right. The line is strong to the right side here. Snap goes to Aiden, gets some blocks, past midfield, makes a juke move, and he's going to be taken down well past the first down, up to about the 36-yard line. Aiden Klosterman with another nice run as he continues his nice first quarter. It'll be a gain of 10 on the carry from Aiden. First and 10 for Central City from the Springville 36. Aiden's already nearly at 100 yards on the ground. He's only ran it 4 times. He's got 97 yards so far. 3.5 minutes to go in our opening quarter. 16-0 Wildcats, and they're driving. Twin receivers left. That's Luke Birds and Aiden Klosterman. Matthew Klosterman in the shotgun. Lucas Greif is split out tight to the right, excuse me. Aiden comes in motion left to right. Jet sweep is faked. Matthew up the middle, past the 30, taken down at about the 25-yard line. As that is another first down. Matthew Klosterman that time takes the football. So the Klosterman brothers have been the focal point of the Wildcat offense as far as the ground game is concerned all year, and no reason to expect that to change here tonight. They're both having nice games already, and we're not even out of the first quarter. 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. Central City goes up to the line. First and 10 from the Oriole 25. Twin receivers right. Greif split out left, tight to the line. And Matthew Klosterman's in the shotgun, standing at the 30. Aiden comes in motion right to left this time. They give it to him on the jet sweep. Dancing around, trying to use Nolan Gates as the lead blocker. Does so, and he's dragged down, but there is a flag on the play. Aiden was dragged down just shy of a first down, but a flag comes in. at about the 21-yard lines where the flag is thrown. And holding is going to be the call against Central City. So that will be a Wildcat penalty, and that nice run is coming back. So credit Aiden for a gain of about 4 on the carry, because we'll go based on where the flag was thrown. But then 10 of those yards come back, and the Wildcats will have first down from the 31-yard line of the Orioles. So first down, 16 yards to go. Arwen Betzer split out left. Now he comes in motion left to right. They give it to Betzer on the jet sweep, going to the right. On the far side of the field is going to be taken out of bounds. Nice running there by Arwen Betzer. Again, we haven't seen him run the football here this season until tonight, but he's done a nice job with his 2 carries so far. That one is up to about the 24-yard line. So a gain of 7, and second down and 9 is upcoming. Arwen Betzer splits out right here. Closerman brothers in the backfield. Matthew on the left, Aiden on the right. Betzer comes in motion right to left. They will fake the jet sweep. Aiden up the middle, but he's met pretty much right away. Not a whole lot of room that time for Aiden, as he gets it up for a gain of maybe 1. It'll be third down and about 8 yards to go. Coming up for Central City. The first real third and long the Wildcats have faced here tonight. In fact, it's the first third down they've faced of any variety. Aiden and Matthew Closerman back there. Christopher Greif is lined up as the fullback. Third down, 8 yards to go from the 23. Aiden takes the snap, right up the middle. Great blockings there. He's going to try to break out of a tackle, cannot, but he will have more than enough for the first down, and it'll be first down and goal to go for Central City, up to about the 5-yard line. So on third down and 8, Aiden gains 18. And the Wildcats have first down, goal to go from the 5. That is already 116 yards on the ground for Aiden. He's lined up to the left of his brother Matthew here on this formation. Matthew takes the snap. He's going to roll out left, looking to throw. Gets it over to Christopher Greif, and he's into the end zone. Matthew Closterman, for the first time this season, passes one into the end zone, connects with Christopher Greif, and the Wildcats are back on the board. That was the first pass of the game for Central City. It is complete, 5 yards to Christopher Greif, and it's a Wildcat touchdown. So 22-0 is the score. Just over a minute to go in the opening quarter, as the Wildcats will go for 2. Matthew and Aiden back there. Snap goes to Christopher, bobbles it, now fights ahead, and he will be untouched. As he goes across the goal line, the 2-point conversion is good. Christopher Greif gets credit for the conversion that time as the Wildcats extend their lead. A minute and 8 seconds to go in our opening quarter here from Springville. Wildcats all over the Orioles, 24-0. That time for Central City, they go 54 yards on 7 plays. And to cap it off, Matthew Closterman finds Christopher Greif from 5 yards out for a touchdown. That was just the second completed pass of the season for Matthew, not to mention the first touchdown. Reception number 4 this year for Christopher. And again, his first touchdown reception of the season. So Connor Clark sets the tee down to the 30-yard line. Favre Weber will join him momentarily. The Orioles are back out there. Connor Clark sets the football on the tee. Weber and Clark both back to kick it away. Weber's kicked 2 so far. Clark has kicked 1. This one will be Connor Clark. And the flag flies. I believe somebody was offside for the Wildcats. That is the indication. Somebody was a little too hyped up that time, got going too quickly. And they will retry the kickoff 5 yards deeper. They will back the football up to the 25-yard line. Connor Clark grabs his tee, and now that's where he'll set it down. Minute 8 seconds to go in our opening quarter. 24-0 Wildcats. They've had the ball 3 times, 3 touchdowns plus 3 two-point conversions. Results in a 24-0 lead. Weber and Clark once again march up their steps. Side by side, shoulder by shoulder. Now they split up. Weber on the left, Clark on the right. We'll see who kicks this one. Looks like Clark will be doing the kicking this time. Something of a squib kick, picked up at about the 20-yard line by Braden Jordan. Up ahead past the 25 before he's met by several red hats that bring him down at about the 27-yard line. So Springville will take over. First down, 10 yards to go. They have it at their own 27. Orioles have had pretty much one nice play offensively so far in this game. Their second play from scrimmage went for a good gain from Bryce Ripple. Other than that, Wildcats have been all over them. Jordan Goad just ran into the huddle. He did not start this game at quarterback, but he is their best passer on the year. 8 of 40, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. He's in the shotgun here with Connor Williams split out left. And somebody left early. Believe it was Anguiano, the right guard. We'll see if, believe that was a false start. As it was, they will march off the penalty yardage. False start penalty brings the ball back to the 22-yard line for the Orioles. That's where they will have first down and 15 yards to go. Same look here. Jordan Goad's in the shotgun. Bryce Ripple is lined up as an up back. Goad takes the snap, bobbles it for a second. Now he'll try to go up the middle, but he's wrapped up nearly right away by Braxton Davis. Colton Nowadsky got in there and helped finish off the tackle. Not a whole lot of room that time for Goad as he gets it. No gain on the carry, back up to the 22. That's where they had it previously. Second down, 15 to go for the Orioles. On the year, Goad, 30 carries for 45 yards. And as I said, he is their best passing quarterback of the season. They have gone with more of a straight run design look for their quarterback. Jordan Goad in the shotgun. They're overloaded to the left. Bryce Ripple's over there as an up back. Snap will go to Goad, trying to go right up the middle. Matthew Klosterman's there, can't make the play, but he will be shoved out of bounds as Brandon Hennick getting in there and making the play. Hennick hasn't seen too much time this season. That was just his first full tackle, if they credit that as a full tackle. He entered tonight's action with just half a tackle on the season. So Goad brings that one up to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 6. It'll be third down and 9 yards to go. They don't have to snap it here. Or excuse me, the clock is stopped after we went out of bounds. They, of course, will have to snap it. 10 seconds on the clock. 24-0 Wildcats as the Orioles come up to the line. Braden Jordan splits out left. Goad is in the shotgun. Bryce Ripple split out right, tight to the line of scrimmage as an up back. Goad takes the snap, past the 30, has a little bit of room. He'll be close to a first down. Got it past the 35 up to about the 38. That should move the chains, and it will, as Jordan Goad fights ahead for a gain of 10. And that is how we will end our first quarter once they wind the clock. Final couple seconds run off, and that will do it for our opening quarter of football here from Springville. We've played 12 minutes. Our score, Central City 24 and Springville 0. So while we're at the quarter break, we'll go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank is a full-service community bank. We believe in meeting the needs of our customers while exceeding their expectations. Banking is personal to each individual. That's why we provide options for your life. Member FDIC. Of course, can't say thank you enough to Heartland Bank and all of their great support. Couldn't bring you these football broadcasts every Friday night without their great support of Wildcat Athletics and the Wildcat Sports YouTube page. So here is a look at our first quarter stats as we get set to go in the second quarter here in just a moment. For Central City, Aiden Klosterman, 6 carries, 116 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Matthew Klosterman, 3 carries, 33 yards. Arwen Betzer, 2 carries, 16 yards. Christopher Greif ran it once for 8 yards. Wildcats only passed it once, but Matthew Kolsterman completed a 5-yarder to Christopher Greif for a Wildcat touchdown. Both teams are back out there now. We'll get the second quarter underway. Orioles will work right to left. Wildcats will defend the end zone to my left from my vantage point here in the home press box. Jordan Goad is in the shotgun. Believe that is Braden Jordan split out left, or excuse me, right, as several Orioles leave early. Flag flies. False start is the indication. So 1st and 10 becomes 1st and 15 for Springville. The ball is spotted at the 33. First down, 15 yards to go for Springville. They have it at their own 33-yard line. We'll try to start our second quarter again here. Jordan Goad in the shotgun. He's the best passing quarterback on the Oriole team. He will throw it a little bit. He's going to run this one. Has some room, but Luke Birds comes and tries to close that down, and he will make the tackle along the near sideline. Gain of a couple on that carry, up to about the 35. They will spot that right at the 35-yard line, so a gain of 2 from Jordan Goad. And Luke Birds was in on that tackle for Central City. So Jordan Goad, 4 carries, 18 yards for Springville. Bryce Ripple, 7 carries, 37 yards and a fumble. Braden Jordan ran it once for a loss of 1. And the Orioles have yet to attempt to pass here in our first quarter and on their first play of the second quarter. So after the 5-yard penalty and the 2-yard run, Orioles have second down, 13 yards to go as they're back up to the line. Bryce Ripple in the shotgun, or excuse me, Jordan Goad in the shotgun. Bryce Ripple's an up back on the far side of the formation. Snap goes to Goad, going to the far side of the field. Got a little bit of room. Matthew Klosterman dives for the ankles and takes him out of bounds up past midfield. Third down and long is going to be upcoming for Springville as the football is spotted at the 39-yard line across midfield into Wildcat territory. Gain of 6 from Goad that time. So it's 3rd down and 7 yards to go. As I mentioned, Jordan Goad did not get the start at quarterback, but all year he's been their most prolific passer. Not that they pass it all that much. Like the Wildcats have been these past several weeks, Orioles very much a run-first team. Jordan Goad in the shotgun. Bryce Ripple on the far side of the formation. He's the most prolific offensive player on this team. Goad's going to throw. Benton's there right away. He's in big trouble. Gets rid of it. It's intercepted. Luke Birds makes the interception, but a flag comes in. Birds picked it off on his knees, so he was down immediately. But a flag came in. I believe the flag came in after the play. That is interception number 4 of the season for Jordan Goad, and the personal foul comes in after the fact. It looks like it was declined on Springville. Or correction, sounds like an eligible receiver. And that was, of course, declined. So they will get it right where Birds intercepted it. Wildcats 1st and 10 from their own 30. So Luke Bird splits out to the right for Central City. Matthew Klosterman in the shotgun. Aiden's behind him. Haven't seen this formation from the Wildcats yet this year. Aiden takes the handoff, going past the 35, past midfield, makes a juke move. The ball comes out, and David Munyakazi is Johnny on the spot and falls in the football at the 34-yard line. David Munyakazi, the left guard in this Central City offense, was right there, but the ball was popped out and flew. So instead of a first down, it's just a gain of about 3 or 4 on that carry. Call it a gain of 4. As it'll be 2nd down, 6 yards to go for Central City from their own 34-yard line. One of the more unconventional 4-yard gains you'll see. 10 minutes, 10 seconds to go in our second quarter. It's 24-0 Central City as they're back up to the line. Christopher Greif's the fullback here. Aiden and Matthew Klosterman are in the backfield. This snap will go to Aiden, bobbles it, but hands onto it. He's going to be wrapped up and fights ahead for a decent gain. He was met right away by Seth Stone. Wildcats are going to be a few yards short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd down and about 3 as Aiden gained up to about the 37 for a gain of 3. 3rd down, 3 yards to go upcoming for the Wildcats as they come up to the line. Just a few yards shy of midfield here. Same look. Matthew and Aiden Klosterman are in the backfield. Christopher Greif, the fullback. Snap will go to Christopher Greif, up the middle, has a first down and more. Still going past the 30. Now he's free, but he's going to be taken down as the flag came in. Finally, Christopher goes down. I'm telling you, he just will not go down. The flag was thrown by the back judge, and he launched it. So we'll see what the call is. As of now, Greif gained it up to the 34-yard line. The flag came in late, but it was clearly during the course of the play. This isn't an after-the-play type of thing. Face mask called against Springville. That will be added on to the end. Believe that is a 15-yard variety. As Greif gained it up to the Springville 34. And we'll add 15 more penalty yardage. So the face mask call goes against Springville. They're going to spot the football up past the 20 at the 19-yard line. And it'll be first down and 10 for Central City right there. Just over 9 minutes to go in our second quarter of play here from Springville. 24-0 Wildcats, and they're driving here, trying to extend that lead as they're up to the line of scrimmage. First and 10 from the Oriole 19. Aiden and Matthew Klosterman in the backfield. Christopher Greif, the fullback. Snap goes to Aiden. Gets some good lead blocks, dancing around, trying to find a seam. Gets inside the 10, just about, maybe the 11. Gain of 8 on the carry. Good first down gain by Aiden that time. As it'll be second down and 2 yards to go. The ball spotted at the Oriole 11. Wildcats trying to extend their lead here. So Christopher Greif will jog out. Matthew Klosterman comes in. Wildcats break the huddle. Second down, 2 yards to go. As Arwen Betzer's into the ball game, he's lined up to the right as a receiver. He's had a couple of jet sweep carries here that he's done well on. Goes in motion. Jet sweep right to left for Arwen. Has some great lead blockers. He's going to fight ahead. Did he get over the goal line? Waiting for an indication. And he is in there. Arwen Betzer runs into the end zone for the touchdown. Arwen Betzer with his first touchdown of the year. Hadn't carried the football until tonight. And now he's into the end zone, and the Wildcats lead it by 30. 7:56 to go until the half. 11 yards in that touchdown run by Arwen Betzer. And the Wildcats will go for 2. Matthew Klosterman jogs into the huddle with the play call. Matthew Klosterman in the shotgun, trips receivers, tight to the line of scrimmage on the right. Takes the snap, drops back, looking to throw. Over to the left side, it's caught by Lucas Greif. He is wide open and brings it across the goal line. The 2-point conversion is good. 7 minutes, 56 seconds to go until the halftime break here from Springville. It is a 32-0 Wildcat lead. So the Central City Wildcats that time go 50 yards on 5 plays. And Arwen Betzer gets his first touchdown of the season. Entering play here tonight, Arwen had nothing in terms of offensive statistics, just had his defensive numbers. Can change that. He's carried the football 3 times here in this opening half, and he's gone for 27 yards and his first touchdown of the year. So the Wildcats are taking the field again here to kick it away. They will do so left to right. The Orioles have yet to take the field for the kick return. Connor Clark sets the tee at the 30. Favre Weber comes up to join him. They started the night doing true onside kicks. It's been more of squib kicks these last couple times. Braden Jordan and Jordan Goad are back deep to return for the Orioles. Jordan returned the last one. That's Braden Jordan. Slightly confusing as one of them has, Jordan has a first name, the other is a last name. But it was Braden Jordan returning that one for somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 yards last time. Weber and Clark have their hands in the air. This one is Clark. Sends one to about the 15-yard line. They run a reverse. Braden Jordan now a backwards pass, and it's loose. That's a live football, and Arwen Betzer got on it. Arwen Betzer just scored the touchdown, and now he gets on the football on the backwards pass, the live ball, and Central City will take over from the Oriole 14-yard line. So quite the turn of events there, as Central City will get the football deep in Oriole territory at the 14. So 1st and 10 Wildcats from the 14. Matthew and Aiden Klosterman are back there. Lucas Greif goes in motion. It's a pass for Aiden Klosterman. David Munyakazi's open, and he's got it. David Munyakazi gets the touchdown. My goodness, Aiden Klosterman passes it to the big left guard, and that's King David Munyakazi to you as he gets it in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. That one was well liked up here in the press box. Everybody on the far sideline loved that one, and that is just great to see. I was never in high school with David, but got a couple of sisters that are, and I've heard nothing but good things. He worked super hard, saved a possession a few plays back with diving on a loose ball, and that time, David Munyakazi gets one in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. That is the best thing you'll see all night, I'll tell you that. They'll go for 2 here. Matthew Klosterman in the shotgun. Takes the snap, had trips receivers right, dancing around, looking, now goes back to the end zone, overshoots Lucas Greif, so the 2-point conversion's no good. But that's kind of beyond the point after that awesome touchdown reception by David Munyakazi. Helps extend the lead, 7:40 to go in the second quarter. 38-0, Wildcats leading the Orioles. Shouldn't be lost in that previous play, by the way. That was just completion number 2 of the season for Aiden Klosterman. And his only other completed pass so far this year went for -5 yards. So that was his first completed pass that actually gained yardage, and it goes beyond gaining yardage as it puts the Wildcats into the end zone for a touchdown. I think my excitement on that previous play kind of makes it go without saying that that was David Munyakazi's first reception of the season, and of course his first touchdown. So 38-0. After Aiden Klosterman connected with David Munyakazi on the first play of the possession for a 14-yard touchdown. Weber and Clark are getting set to kick it away. 7:40 to go in our second quarter. Wildcats all over the Orioles. Weber sends it away. It'll be picked up by Braden Jordan at the 17, up to the 25. Makes a nice move. Josh Lindsay and Arwen Betzer get in there and take him down. He's brought down at about the 27-yard line. Not a bad return that time by Braden Jordan. As the ball is spotted at the 27, so a gain of 10 on that return. Aiden Klosterman so far tonight, 9 carries, 131 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He leads a rushing attack with Matthew Klosterman's got 33 yards, Arwen Betzer 27, and Christopher Greif 17. Great offensive showing from the Wildcats so far. Jordan Goad in the shotgun. He's got Braden Jordan to his left, and Bryce Ripple is split out right. Goad takes the snap, keeps it, going to this near sideline, and Nolan Gates is going to get in there and tackle him for a loss. Jordan Goad will lose a couple of yards as Nolan Gates was all over that one. Loss of 2 yards on that play, back to the 25. It'll be second down and 12 yards to go for Springville. Nolan Gates gets the tackle for loss. That is just his second tackle for loss on the season. Gates plays defensive back for Central City. He does have 1 interception on the year that he returned for a big touchdown in that win, Week 3 against Edgewood Colesburg. Second and 12 for Springville from their own 25. Bryce Ripple splits out left. Jordan Goad in the shotgun. Braden Jordan to his right. And Bryce Ripple leaves early. Flag flies. Believe we're getting false start. And that is the indication from the head linesman along the Orioles sideline. So false start to call. That'll bring the Orioles back 5 more yards. It's second down, 17 yards to go. Orioles have it at their own 20-yard line. 5:55 and counting to go until the half. It's a 38-0 Wildcat lead. As the Orioles up to the line, Ripple split out right, Goad in the shotgun with Jordan to his left. Snap goes to Jordan Goad up the middle. He's going to be past the 20 before being dragged down after a short gain as Dayton Price got in there. One thing I'm noticing is Jordan Goad, he's running down the field. It's not an attempted pass, but he's very loose with the football. He holds it like he's trying to scramble. See if the Wildcats can take advantage of that. Gain of 3 that time from Goad, as it'll be 3rd down, 14 yards to go for the Orioles from their own 23-yard line. 5:15 and counting to go until the break. Orioles with an extended huddle here. Now they break it. 3rd and 14 from their own 23. Ripple split out right. So same look here as Goad's in the shotgun with Jordan to his left. It's a hard count. They go on 3. Goad's going to throw. Ripple, the receiver. Ball's in the air, and it's incomplete. Bryce Ripple was in the area, but it was not a catchable ball. And it falls to the ground incomplete. So 4th down and 14. Punting time coming up for Springville as Lucas Kreif makes his way back. 4.5 minutes and counting until we go to the half. I forgot to mention, we are now in running clock. We've gone over that 35-point barrier at 38-0. So the clock will run the rest of the way unless that 35-point barrier is closed by the Orioles. Ripple will punt. Greif back deep at the 20 to return. Ripple tends to go with something of a quick punt, and it's a false start as Jordan Goad split out as a gunner on the left early. And the false start penalty flies in, so 4th and long becomes 4th and even longer. It'll be 4th down and 19 yards to go for Springville. They have it back at their own 18. So they'll try to punt it away again. We're now under 4 minutes to go until the halftime break. Greif back deep. Ripple takes the snap, sends it away. There's traffic in there, but does get it away. Greif picks it up off a hop, returns past the 30. Flag comes in, block in the back is going to be called against Nolan Gates as Greif returns it up past midfield. But Gates is not impressed with the flag that came in clearly, but the flag did fly. Flag came in at the 28-yard line. And block in the back is the call against Central City. Believe they'll have it at their own 18-yard line. The ball goes back to the 18-yard line. And that is where Central City will take over 1st down and 10. 3:35 to go in this opening half. The clock has stopped, but now it starts running. Wildcats break the huddle. Matthew Klosterman, Aiden Klosterman back there. Christopher Greif, the fullback. Snap goes to Aiden. Has some good blocking in front. Has it past the 30, spins ahead, he's still going, past midfield, and there he goes, he makes a high step, and now he's got one man to beat. He's not gonna catch him. Aiden Klosterman goes 62 yards, and the Wildcats are back on the board. Aiden Klosterman adds to his great night on the ground. He's closing in on 200 yards here in the first half. I'll get you the updated number here in just a moment, as I now have Aiden Klosterman down for 10 carries, 193 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
193, so if he gets the first series out of the half, he'll be good.
So they will go for 2. Remember, folks, unofficial numbers here. Official numbers are kept on the sideline by the statisticians, but I have him down for 193. Matthew Klosterman in the shotgun as they'll go for 2. Takes the snap. Rolling to his right. Now he'll look to scramble. Stops. Now he'll go again. Trying to fight ahead. Was grabbed up by the neck. And they're going to say he crossed the goal line regardless. So Matthew Klosterman gets it in for the 2-point conversion. And with 3 minutes and 4 seconds to go until the half, it's all Central City here from Springville. Wildcats lead it 46-0. So pretty straightforward on the drive breakdown on that one. One play, 62 yards. Aiden Klosterman houses one once again. And the Wildcats lead it by 46. Quick shout out here to Next Bank, Heartland Bank, formerly known as Next Bank. Heartland Bank represents new approach to banking in Iowa. Expanded services, more technology, and increased personal attention. Heartland Bank is proud to sponsor Central City Sports. Member FDIC. As always, big thank you to Heartland Bank. As the Wildcats are back out there. And the Orioles now come out to join them. Wildcats will kick off left to right. Connor Clark takes the football and sets it on the tee. Favre Weber is directly, to his right as they march off the steps. Jordan Goad and Braden Jordan back deep to return. They take their approach. This one's Weber. It'll be picked up at the 17-yard line by Goad, up past the 25. Nolan Gates gets him and brings him down shy of the 30. Not a bad return there by Goad, and not bad field position for the Orioles. They'll have first down, 10 yards to go. They're going to spot that one at their own 27-yard line. Correction, we'll call that the 28. 2:35 and counting. Remember, we are well into running clock here. Nolan Gates jogs in at the last second. Connor Williams splits out left, and now he's told to go back and get in the three-point stance as Ripple and Goad split out left. It's Braden Jordan in the shotgun. He's only attempted 2 passes this year. Here's a third. It's caught on the screen pass to Ripple. Gets it up past the 30 before Brandon Hennick brings him down. That'll be a gain of about 2 or 3. Call that 3 up to the 31-yard line. Braden Jordan connects with Bryce Ripple on the screen pass. Second down and 7 upcoming. Orioles have it at their own 31. Same formation, Jordan in the shotgun. Ripple and Goad split out left. Minute 45 and counting to play in the first half. As Jordan takes the snap, looking around. Now he's in trouble. Betzer's in the backfield, gets a block. Now Davis is there. He'll take off, but he's taken down by Luke Birds, as he'll maybe gain a couple of yards, and now Jordan's slow to get up. Braden Jordan ended up running that one for a gain of about 3 up to the 34. He's slow to get up, and he'll leave the ball game. Jordan, just a freshman, 5'6", 129. Hasn't played all that much this season. Has started at quarterback the last couple of games. Just over 60 seconds and counting as now Jordan Goad runs in at quarterback. 34-yard line in Springville territory is where the football is spotted. Orioles up to the line. Goad in the shotgun. They go on a hard count. Now Goad will keep it himself. Sweep over to the right. Tries to make a move. He will be close to a first down before he's driven into the dirt on that far sideline. Technically, Orioles do have to run one more play, I believe. That play ended with about 42 seconds left. As Jordan Goad gains about 4 up to the 38, and that is enough for a first down. First and 10 Orioles from their own 38-yard line. 20 seconds on the clock. And there is no official play clock shown here, but I believe there is about a 2-second difference between game clock and play clock. So Orioles up to the line. Bryce Ripple split out right. Jordan Goad in the shotgun. Believe that is Luke Lansing to his left. Takes the snap, looking to throw. It's a seam down the sideline for Bryce Ripple, and it's incomplete. He was open, but the ball was not there, and that will bring us to the half as the clock shows all zeros. So we have reached the half here from Springville. It's all Central City. Wildcats lead this one by a score of 46-0. It's a 46-point advantage here at the halftime break for Central City. It's 15 minutes to set on the clock for halftime, and the Wildcats are about 24 more minutes of game time from taking that trophy sitting there on the Orioles sideline and putting it back on the bus. So while we've got a break in the action, let's go ahead and look at our drive-by-drive recap of that opening half. Springville got the football first. They went 33 yards on 3 plays and fumbled it away. Central City got it back 53 yards on 2 plays, and that was an Aiden Klosterman touchdown. The Orioles then went 3 and out. Wildcats 65 yards on 4 plays. Orioles went backwards 9 yards for their 3 and out. And the Wildcats scored again. This time it was a 7-play, 54-yard drive. Then the Orioles went 24 yards on 6 plays, but they threw an interception to Luke Birds, his first of the season. Wildcats responded by going 50 yards on 5 plays. Then was one of the more interesting kickoffs you'll see, as the Orioles attempted a backwards lateral pass, if you will, on the kickoff that Arwen Betzer fell on. Gave the Wildcats the football at the 14, and then it was on that play that Aiden Klosterman connected with David Munyakazi in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. Orioles then lost 9 yards and went 3 and out. Wildcats went 62 yards on 1 breakaway Aiden Klosterman run, and that pretty much brings us to the half, with the Wildcats on top 46-0. With that said, here's a look at our first half statistics. First for the Orioles. They only attempted 4 passes. Braden Jordan was 1 of 1 for 3 yards. Jordan Goad was 0 of 3 with an interception. Bryce Ripple, 7 carries for 37 yards. He did fumble at once as well. Jordan Goad ran the ball 8 times for 29 yards, and Braden Jordan ran it twice for a gain of 2. Only completed pass went to Bryce Ripple, and that was for a gain of 3 yards. On the ground game for Central City in that first half, here's the big number to watch. Aiden Klosterman ran it 10 times for unofficially 193 yards, and he found the end zone 3 times. Aiden just 7 yards away from going over that 200-yard mark. Matthew Klosterman, 3 carries, 33 yards in that opening half. Arwen Betzer, 3 carries, 27 yards and a touchdown, his first of the year. And Christopher Greif ran it twice for 17 yards. In the passing game, only attempted a couple, and both went pretty well. Aiden Klosterman, 1 of 1 for 14 yards and a touchdown to David Munyakazi. Matthew Klosterman, 1 of 1 for 5 yards and a touchdown to Christopher Greif. The Orioles gained 56 yards of total offense, not including a fumble of about 12 yards. And Central City rushed for 282 yards in that first half. They passed for 19. So a first half total of 301 yards of offense in that first half from Central City. So all Wildcats in that opening half, is a marching band and flag performance going on the field at the moment here in Springville. "15 minutes were put on the clock, and that's down to about 12 now here in our halftime break. I mentioned there's only one other district game going on. Well, district or non-district game, that is, involving a district team, as both Midland and Easton Valley took the night off. Currently in Lansing, Edgewood Colesburg is taking on Key. Both of those teams are 1-1 in district play and are back in action after being off in the district for a while. If I was a betting man, I'd go with Edco in that matchup, but we'll see if we can get a update from that one. Sometimes Edco puts out their halftime or quarter scores, but not sure if they will here. It looks like they don't have an update, so my apologies, folks. No halftime updates this time. Springville and Easton Valley are the really good ones with their streams, and then Midland does a pretty good job with their Twitter account, giving updates here at the half. But like I said, it is a 46-0 score here in Central City at the halftime break. So while we're still at halftime here, why don't we go ahead and take a look at what the Central City volleyball team has been up to. Wasn't a great week for Central City as they ran up against two of the top teams in the conference. Springville came to town this past Tuesday, the 27th. Springville is the #1 team in the state of Iowa for 1A volleyball. That was always going to be a tough night, as the Wildcats did play with them for 2 of the 3 sets. They've also taken a set from them at tournaments this year, but it was a sweep for the Orioles. 25-18, 25-11, and 26-24. for Central City this Tuesday, looks like it was Bailey Weber leading the way offensively with 10 kills. Coletta Wade was right there with 9. Looking at assists, Belle Whitson, the setter, had 24. And defensively was Bella Dam, the libero, leading the way with 11 digs. And Coletta Wade pitched in 3 blocks. And then last night, the Wildcats hit the road to Edgewood. They took on the Edgewood-Colesburg Vikings. And that was a 4-set loss for Central City. They lost the opener 25-18, bounced back to win set 2, 27-25. And from there, it was Vikings 25-22, 25-20. So every set was at least somewhat competitive, especially those last couple. In that second set, Central City won was also quite competitive. But it was a 4-set win for the Vikings. Stats are not yet in for Central City, so can't give you an update there. But after those couple of losses, they fall to 13-10 on the season. And they will finish up their regular season this week. On Tuesday, they have senior night. They host the Stars of Starmont High School. And then this coming Thursday, they conclude the regular season in Troy Mills, taking on the Northland Lynx. After that, it's time for the Tri-Rivers Conference Tournament, which haven't seen anything official, but I believe I was told last week that the Saturday championship portion of that will be in Central City this year. So that is very exciting. And after that, the volleyball team moves on to official postseason play when they get their bracket started after the conclusion of conference tournaments. So there is a halftime peek at our Central City volleyball team. I want to wish them the best of luck the rest of the way, as they go through the stretch of their regular season. For Central City, this is game number 6 of the regular season, but it is the final district game for the Wildcats. Tonight will conclude district play, as they were scheduled to go to Wyoming to take on Calamus Wheatland next week, and the week after they would have hosted Central Elkader. Those are both off the table, with those programs dropping their varsity football teams this year. But they do have makeup games, which is great to see. Don't want to rob those young men of one of their few football games, especially the seniors. So here is a brief recap of Central City football this year. They opened against Lone Tree at home and won 44-21. They went to Lansing and took down Key 48-0. They hosted Edgewood-Colesburg in Week 3 and won 38-12. They went to Midland in Week 4 and they won 44-20. And last week they hosted the 4th-ranked team in the state, Easton Valley. Played with the Riverhawks for a half, but lost that one by a final of 49-6. 46-0 at the half here in Springville. 7 days from now, the Wildcats will be in Maynard, taking on the West Central Blue Devils, led by Coach Steve Milder in his 50-something year of coaching high school football. That is a West Central team that, while maybe not one of the dominant forces in 8-player football this year, they're certainly much better than they have been in previous years. So we'll see if the Blue Devils can give the Wildcats a good little non-district test as they get set for postseason play here before too long. But before they can go to the postseason, they have a senior night matchup with Hiawatha of Illinois, as the Hawks of Hiawatha will come in from Illinois. I looked it up. It's somewhere in the neighborhood of a 3.5-hour trek for the Hawks. I believe that is why that will be a 6 o'clock kickoff instead of your typical 7 o'clock. That will be 14 days from now in Central City for senior night, 8th and final week of the regular season. And remember, district play ends tonight. District play is all that matters towards postseason qualification. Wildcats are pretty much confirmed to be in the top 3 of their district, and shouldn't say pretty much. They're clearly going to win here tonight, so they are most definitely confirmed to be in the top 3 of their district. So Wildcats will be in the postseason when that gets started on October 21st. If Wildcats can have a nice showing next week in Maynard, I would think they would probably have done enough to earn a home playoff game, which will be the first time that's happened since 2008. If anybody listening out there remembers that one.
I do.
Cody Ratliff here to my right certainly does.
I was in the same spot up in the booth.
As the Wildcats will look to, cross your fingers, hopefully get a postseason game Not 100% sure how that works. I would assume district standings and RPI are the main two determining factors there. I would assume it would be at best one playoff game at home for Central City. With the one loss, things get pretty tough when you have only 16 teams remaining. With the 32 teams, see if Central City can hopefully be playing a home football game 3 weeks from tonight. So about 4.5 minutes on the clock here at the halftime break. Got a stranger listening in. Keegan Kula says, "Go David and go Cats." Keegan, hope you're doing good, buddy. Good to see you earlier today at the school. 4.5 minutes on the halftime clock. As now Rat's going to take control of the keyboard here for a moment. Let's see what he throws in the chat. Now a bunch of the youngins here in Springville taking the field, and as you can see in the chat, Keegan, it sounds like we got half-price hot dogs here. So if you'd like to make the trip, I'm sure that'd make it worth your while here at the halftime break. Thanks to Rat for throwing that in the chat. I have to say, Rat, that is number 3, or the 3rd time you've thrown half-price hot dogs in the chat this year, so it's... Keegan says might have sold me. So maybe a Keegan spotting, will happen here in the next several minutes. So a bunch of youngins are out at midfield right now. Future of this Oriole program. As now the Wildcats have taken the sideline over on the far side of the field, just in front of the infield of the baseball field that they used during the summer here in Springville. The clock continues to roll down. We're just under 3 minutes, and I believe there will be an additional 3 added on for a stretch period, as Springville has yet to make an appearance here to get set for our second half. So as the clock continues to roll down, I mentioned Hiawatha of Illinois will be coming to town in Week 8 to conclude the regular season. Here's an updated look at their numbers so far. According to Max Preps, they don't have a varsity bound that is up and running in the state of Illinois yet. They still use Max Preps, which is, I have to say, much less consistent, unfortunately, as they don't really put in statistics. At least it's not required. Anyways, looks like Hiawatha is 3-1 on the season. Looking at their schedule, they did lose their first game of the year in their most recent game on the 23rd. Last week, they lost to Polo 44-32. Other than that, they defeated Christian Life Keith Country Day School 66-24, Ashton Franklin Center 66-38, and they defeated Orangeville by 20 at 60-40. So it appears to be a high-scoring Hiawatha offense coming to town here in a couple of weeks. They will take on South Beloit. That is actually a team that faced Easton Valley earlier this year as South Beloit. So that'll maybe give us a little better of a preview of what we're looking at. And then they will come to Central City on the 14th before they conclude their regular season on the 21st against, get ready for this one, folks, Alden Hebron Our Lady the Sacred Heart Academy. How'd you like to have to answer that when asked what your school is? 60 seconds to go until the halftime break is over. Both teams are out there, so I'm not sure if we will have a halftime 3-minute period set. But both teams are out there getting a stretch in, as we'll be playing second half football here in just a few moments. Just about set to go here for second half football between Central City and Springville. It is a 46-0 lead at the half for the Orioles. The clock has hit zeros. Both teams are still out there getting the stretch. And they have set 3 minutes on the clock. And that 3-minute stretch period is now running. So we'll play second half football once that 3-minute stretch period has concluded. It's a beautiful night here in Springville for football. After last week, it looks like the later stages of summer into fall are trying to hang on before the truly cold weather comes in. Looks like it is 58 degrees, but it feels warmer than that. And not really any wind to speak of. It's been a beautiful night. As it'll be much colder in a week's time, as the high next Friday when the Wildcats go to Maynard is 53 degrees with a low of 34, so bundle up if you're heading out to Maynard next week. The Wildcats are just about set to go here for the second half. The Orioles stretching on the sideline directly in front of me as we're under 2 minutes to go until we get second half action underway. It's all Central City in that opening half, and that is how they come out to a 46-0 lead. As I touched on, just 4 of the 6 district teams are in play tonight, as Midland and Easton Valley both had their district game taken away. Both of them are off here tonight. We're here in Springville as we take on the Orioles, and over in Lansing, Edgewood Colesburg is taking on Key. Matthew Klosterman and Jaden Hansen playing some catch here before the start of the second half. It's one face we didn't see in that opening half. Didn't see Jaden Hansen out in the field at all, but it was still a dominant Wildcat offense. They only passed it twice. Each Klosterman brother had a touchdown pass. Matthew to Christopher Greif and Aiden to David Munyakazi.
Great catch, by the way, by David.
What had to be the highlight of that first half. The big lineman showing off the hands in the back of the end zone. And they both rushed it very well, as Aiden especially played good in that first half on the ground. He's about 7 yards away from that 200-yard barrier, unofficially, of course, according to the statistics I've kept live up here in the press box. I've got him down for 193 yards on 10 carries. So 12 minutes set on the clock, and we're just about set to go here for second half football between Central City and Springville. Both teams have yet to take the field, but they are huddled up along their sideline. Central City will get the football first. Springville won the toss earlier tonight and elected to take the ball. So Wildcats are going to return. Aiden Klosterman is back deep alongside Lucas Greif. Now the Orioles take the field. They do have a pretty solid kicker in the form of freshman Christian Anguiano. On the year, he's kicked off 15 times, and 9 have gone for touchbacks. He's also a field goal kicker. Haven't had much of an opportunity at that so far tonight. Wildcats will look to keep it that way. Anguiano has it teed up. Klosterman and Greif have the memo that he's got a leg, and they're lined up at about the goal line as Anguiano gets that to send it away. 12 minutes on the clock as we're set for second half football here from Springville. Anguiano takes the approach, sends it away. High end over end kick. That is well into the end zone, about 6 yards deep. Clearly a touchback as they will take it out to the 15-yard line, and that is where Central City will have first down and 10 from their own 15 to begin our third quarter. Wildcats will work right to left here in the third quarter. And once the Orioles have the ball back, the Wildcats will defend the end zone to my right. So I see a mix of couple of JV kids, a lot of varsity still out there here to begin the third quarter. As they break the huddle and come up to the line. Josh Lindsay is in the ball game. He stands to Matthew Klosterman's left. Christopher Greif is the fullback. Snap will go to Lindsay. He keeps it up past the 20, past the 25-30, taken out of bounds past the 30-yard line. Good first run of the game for Josh Lindsay.
That was pretty good blocking there, boys.
As he gets a gain of around 15 yards up to the 31-yard line, so a gain of 16. That puts Lindsay over 100 yards on the season. He came in to tonight's matchup with 99 yards on the year. Just needed one, got 16. Remember, he had a great ball game over in Lansing in week 2. This snap will go to Matthew. Spins and keeps it himself. He's got a hole. Past midfield. Got a foot race. Down the near sideline. 20, 15. There he goes. Matthew Klosterman nearly tripped up, but goes across the goal line and finds the end zone as the Wildcats extend their lead. Matthew Klosterman finds the end zone once again, this time from 49 yards out. And the Wildcats will go for 2. Matthew Klosterman with his first touchdown run of the night. He's got 82 yards on just 4 carries. Looks like we are going to kick an extra point here as Jaden Hansen runs in with the tee. And Jaden Hansen, who's usually the long snapper, will kick the PAT. Lucas Greif is in there. He will snap it. And Aiden Klosterman will do the holding. Hansen attempting a PAT for the first time this year, but I believe delay of game just came in. So a 5-yard penalty. So now the ball goes back to the 8, and we will retry the point after. Again, Lucas Greif will snap, Aiden Klosterman will hold, and it is Jaden Hansen for the first time in his career set to attempt a point after. Good snap, spot is down, kick is on the way, it's got the distance, it is up there, and it is perfect. Jaden Hansen knocks in his first extra point as a Central City Wildcat, and Central City extends their lead. It is 53-0. Here with 11 minutes and 3 seconds to go until the end of the third. So to begin the second half, the Wildcats go 65 yards on just 2 plays. Josh Lindsay gets his first touch of the ball game, goes 16 yards. And then Matthew Klosterman does the rest, 49 yards into the end zone for the touchdown. Jaden Hansen adds the extra point for good measure, and it's 53-0. Connor Clark and Favre Weber will be the 2 kickers lined up once again, as the Orioles have Braden Jordan and Jordan Goad back deep to return. We'll get play resumed here just under a minute into our second half. Clark sets the football down. Clark and Weber march off their steps. And we'll see which one of them sends it away this time. Clark will do the kicking. It's an onside kick, but it will not go anywhere near the requisite 10 yards as it ended up rolling backwards. Springville will get the ball in great field position, 1st and 10 from the 33. That is the 33-yard line in Central City territory. It's just a 33-yard field for Springville. Clock continues to roll after that kickoff. We are well over that 35-point barrier. Looks like pretty much all starters still in there defensively for Central City as the Orioles come up to the line. Jordan Goad split out right. As Braden Jordan's back into the ball game after being dinged up a little bit. He's under center. They're in the I formation. Hand off to Bryce Ripple, trying to find some room, but it's not there. As Brandon Hennick, away from the play, he was attempted to be blocked by Jordan Goad, and he tossed him to the ground and tried to go up and fill. Play was made before, but caught that out of the corner of my eye. Good job by the sophomore lined up at cornerback. So no gain on the carry for Bryce Ripple. It'll be 2nd down, 10 yards to go for the Orioles from the Central City 33. This is nearly the deepest into Wildcat territory they've been. I believe they got just a little bit further than this once. That drive resulted in a fumble. They're in the I formation with Goat split out left. Lansing's the fullback. Ripple's the running back. Jordan's under center. Fullback dive up ahead, but there's a lot of room. Brandon Hennick gets in there to make the play. He's helped out by a couple of teammates. That'll be nearly a first down. And that will be a first down in the carry from Luke Lansing. Just his 6th carry of the year. And he gets it up for first down yardage. There was nobody there, as the first one to him was the defensive back, Brandon Hennick. So that is a gain of 10 for Lansing. First and 10 Orioles from the 23. Orioles break the huddle. Same formation, Goad split out left. Jordan under center, Lansing and Ripple behind him. Now the backs are having a conversation. Now Jordan turns and goes under center. Now he takes the snap. Nobody was ready. He'll keep it on the near sideline. Brandon Hennick tries to get him, can't bring him down. A flag comes in. And that'll be a decent gain by Braden Jordan on an impromptu run. And the flag came in, and it's face mask against Central City, so that'll go on to the end. Braden Jordan ran up to the 14-yard line. So it was already a gain of 9. I believe it'll be half the distance from there. So the ball is spotted at the 9. It was a 5-yard penalty. And Springville has first down and goal to go. Orioles break the huddle. First and goal from the 9. Same formation. Goats put out left. Jordan under center. There's no guard, as now they will adjust the formation. There's a whole bunch of confusion. They get it figured out. Lansing and Ripple the backs. Jordan under center. Hand off to Lansing on the near sideline as Colton Nowadsky gobbles him up and brings him down. Maybe a gain of 1 or 2 on that carry for Ripple, but not a whole lot as Colton Nowadsky had that one sniffed out. They're going to spot the football at the 8. So call it a gain of 1 for Ripple. Second down and goal for Central City from the 8. Jordan runs into the huddle with the play call. Under 8 minutes to go in our third quarter. It's 53-0 Central City. Orioles up to the line. Nothing changing in the formation. Jordan under center. Lansing and Ripple behind him. Takes the snap. Hand off to Ripple. Makes a juke move. David Munyakazi takes him down from behind. Gets inside the 5. Up to about the 3. Not a bad run that time by Bryce Ripple, as Makai Benson and Christopher Greifel enter the ball game. Third down and goal is upcoming. Ball is spotted at the 3. So the Orioles have 2 plays to gain 3 yards. Wildcats trying to keep that shutout on the board as Braden Jordan runs into the huddle. Orioles break the huddle now. Third and goal from the 3. Same formation except Goad splits out right this time. Jordan under center. Nearly fumbles the handoff, and he gives it to Bryce Ripple, taken down in the backfield as Makai Benson took him low. David Munyakazi took him high. That'll be a loss of 2, and it's 4th down and goal for Springville, back at the 5. So the Orioles trying to get on the board here. 6:35 to play in the third. Wildcats leading 53-0. And believe we're going to have a timeout here, and that is the case. Springville will use their first timeout of the second half. They've got 2 remaining. 6:25 to play in the third quarter. Our score, Central City 53, Springville 0. During the timeout, to give a shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Each person and family has unique financial needs. That's why we offer a variety of personal banking and lending products. We offer everything you need for your personal financial success, from checking and savings accounts to loans and online services. Heartland Bank, member FDIC. Of course, big shout out to Heartland Bank for all their great support of Wildcat Athletics. So Coach Martin of the Orioles calls his first time out of the second half. Wildcats still have all 3. Second half has gone quite quickly already. 6:25, and well, not counting, but 6:25 to go in the third. We are in running clock. So the Orioles will try to get the touchdown here on 4th and goal. 4th down and goal to go from the 5. Wildcat defense trying to get the stop. And they're going with the swinging gate. 6 players go over to the, or 5 players, excuse me, to the right side of the field. Ripple in the shotgun. Goes to the center, and Jordan's to his left. Very unusual formation the Orioles like to run here. Ripple takes the snap, rolling left. He's going to try to go to the back of the end zone. It's well scouted, but a tackle is missed. And Bryce Ripple runs it into the end zone for the touchdown. The Wildcats had it perfectly scouted. The receiver was not open in the back of the end zone, but a tackle was missed, and that's an Oriole touchdown. So 53-6 is our score. It's believed the Orioles will kick an extra point. It may be, in fact, going for 2 here. As now we got a stoppage. As the Orioles want the football on the right hash, it appears. That is where they will put it. So the Orioles will go for 2. And they're back in the swinging gate. But this time only 4 players go out. Lansing is to the left of the center Jordan Goad. Braden Jordan's to his left, and Bryce Ripple's in the shotgun. And somebody goes down and starts doing some sort of belly dance or something, and the trick play doesn't work. I'm not sure if you folks have seen the barking dog play they used in a viral basketball clip one time, but they had Tristan Milanofi, one of the big linemen. He was lined up in the swinging gate formation, and he stood up, went down to all 4s, and then he started doing the worm. So I guess that's where we're at here tonight. Got the worm going on in the field, but the Wildcats stopped the 2-point conversion. It was no good. Nonetheless, 6:18 to go in our 3rd quarter. It's 53-6. I can't quite believe what I've just seen. Aiden Klosterman and Lucas Greif back deep to return. Christian Anguiano will kick off. Last time Anguiano kicked it well into the end zone, some 6 or 7 yards deep. He will kick off again here. I have to say, I'm quite glad the Wildcats didn't fall for the worm trick play. Can't say I've ever quite seen that one before, but anyways, we'll just try to move on from that because I could talk about that all night. So Anguiano sets it on the tee at the 30-yard line. Aiden Klosterman and Lucas Greif are back deep to return. Their respective brothers are up in front of them at the 25-yard line. Christopher Greif and Matthew Klosterman. Anguiano takes his approach, sends it away. That one will be fielded at about the 1 by Lucas Greif, confirms he's still in play, and now starts to return past the 15, 20, gets some blocking, past the 30, now tries to break out of a tackle. He does, but he's taken down a few yards shy of midfield. Somebody got an ankle, otherwise he would have been gone. So Greif returns it from the goal line all the way up to the 36-yard line. That is where Central City will start this possession. Clock continues to run down, 5:50 and counting to play in the 3rd. Now we got some more JV kids as Dashni Munyakazi makes an appearance. And my apologies, it looks like the ball came out at some point and Springville has the football at the 36, and now I'm not sure what they're doing. They're all lined up as if they're going down. Excuse me, Central City does have the ball. It was just completely confused by Springville lining up like they're going to lunch. Matthew Klosterman and Dashni Munyakazi are in the shotgun. Goes to Dashni Munyakazi. He gets his first career varsity carry. He's past midfield. He's past the 30. He's got a foot race past the 15. And Dashni Munyakazi taken down inside the 10. So the first career carry for Dashni Munyakazi is a very good one as he gets it back inside the 10 to the 9. So that is a gain of 35 yards in the carry from Dashney. Was caught from behind, otherwise he would have been gone.
Dashney's averaging 35 yards a carry.
Matthew Klosterman in the shotgun. Dashney Munyakazi's to his right. Snap goes to Dashney again, but he fumbles it, picks it up. Now it's loose and he falls on it. So that play will lose about 10 yards. So it will be second down and goal to go for Central City. Back from the 19.
Second 19. Goal to go.
So when Springville doesn't line up defensively like they're getting ready to go to lunch in elementary school, they can make something of a stop. It was assisted by a Wildcat fumble. Orioles doing some interesting things here late in this third quarter. Snap goes to Christopher Greif, the fullback, up the middle, past the 15, rumbling, but he loses the football, and it's going to be loose, and it's still loose. They're fighting for it. I think Springville might have gotten it, and it is Springville football as Christopher Greif fumbled it away, and Springville will take over at about the 14-yard line or thereabouts. Football is spotted at the 14. And that is where the Orioles will take over. So the ball is spotted at the 14, 1st and 10 for the Orioles, working left to right here, 3:10 to go in our third quarter. Now they break the huddle, up the line. Bryce Ripple is the back. Braden Jordan's under center, and Luke Lansing's the fullback in the I formation. Jordan Goad split out right. It'll be a play-action pass. Gets rid of it. He's crushed as he does so, and it's intercepted by Lucas Greif. Return pass to 25, 20, spin move. There he goes. He's taken down just shy of the 10. Lucas Greif hit circle to spin and took somebody out of their shoes and returns it up to about the 12. Central City football, not quite 1st and goal. They have it at the 12-yard line after it was intercepted by Lucas Greif, his 3rd of the season. So 1st down and 10 for Central City. Dashney Munyakazi and Matthew Klosterman in the backfield, but a flag comes in, and it will be false start called against Central City. That is a 5-yard penalty. And it will be 1st down and 15 from the Orioles 17 with just over 2 minutes to go until the half. Same formation. Dashney Munyakazi and Matthew Klosterman are back there. Christopher Greif, the fullback, goes to Dashney, gets some blocks, and now somebody comes off their block, and he'll be taken down for a loss. Back to the 20-yard line. I believe Christopher Greif was the lead blocker there that kind of fell off his block. That'll be a loss of 3 for Dashney. Correction, loss of 4 back to the 21. As it'll be 2nd down and 19 yards to go from the 21-yard line. Josh Lindsay back into the ball game for Central City. He stands to Matthew Klosterman's right. Greif is still the fullback. 2nd and 19 from the 21. Snap goes to Lindsay. Up the middle. Gets some blocking. He's going to be tripped up at about the 15-yard line. Picks up about 6. That will set up 3rd down and long for Central City. 3rd and about 13. Lucas Greif and Luke Birds both into the ball game for the Wildcats. That's 3rd and 13 is upcoming from the 15. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. As they break the huddle, Luke Bird split out right. Lucas Greif is an up back on the left. Matthew Klosterman in the shotgun. Takes the snap, handoff to Lucas Greif, going to the right, gets the block, trying to get inside, now gets past the 10. It will be 4th down. As they will spot the football at the 9, so a gain of 6, and 4th down is upcoming. 4th down, 7 yards to go for Central City from the 9. Aiden Klosterman's back into the ball game, and I think they're going to kick a field goal. Jaden Hansen brings in the tee. They will attempt a field goal here. This will be a 25-yard attempt. Greif with the snap. It's a little low, handled. It's going to be blocked, and it's no good after one of the front line. But Mekhi Benson picked it up. Now he reverses field, and he's going to be dragged down. Did he get over the goal line? I think he did. They're going to say he didn't. I thought he got over the goal line before the fumble. And it's a touchdown. It's a touchdown for Central City. Jaden Hansen comes out of the pile with it. And I think Jaden Hansen just scored a touchdown. So I suppose that's one way to get a touchdown on the board, as we've seen some interesting things here in this third quarter. To recap, Jaden Hansen has his field goal attempt blocked. Mekhi Benson recovers the fumble. Now we're trying to confirm the signal.
Didn't he fumble it into the end zone, though?
The referee just came in and once again declared it is a touchdown. And we will go for two. So to clarify, Jaden Hansen has his field goal attempt blocked. Mekhi Benson picks it up, tries to run it in, dives for the pylon, fumbles the football just before getting in, but Jaden Hansen comes in and recovers it in the back of the end zone. So now they'll go for two. Twin receivers to either side. Matthew Klosterman in the shotgun. Drops back to pass. He'll roll to his left. Throws it. It's going to be incomplete. Was trying to hook up with his brother there, but it is broken up by Bryce Ripple, and the two-point conversion is no good. That is the end of the third quarter, by the way. Our score heading to the fourth. Central City 59, Springville 6. I think we are officially in Strangeville, as that was the oddest quarter of football I've ever seen in my life. 12 minutes set on the clock as we will get our fourth quarter underway here in just a little bit. Will be Central City kicking it away once we get our fourth quarter underway. Again, 59-6 is the score. It's been Favre Weber and Connor Clark as the two potential kickers. They split them fairly evenly. We'll see who kicks it off here. Both teams are back out there now. Wildcats will kick off left to right. We're 12 minutes away from that Tractor Bowl trophy going back on the bus to Central City. Wildcats held it in 2017 and 18. It's been 3 years since they had it in their possession. They nearly had it last year, but a 70-yard touchdown to close the ball game gave the Orioles the win. So here come Clark and Weber. Clark sends it away. But a wobbly, spiraling punt. Jordan Goad in the return. Going far sideline past the 20, and Nolan Gates makes a diving tackle along the Wildcat sideline to bring him down to around the 22-yard line. Looks like they will spot it at the 23. And that is where Springville will have first down and 10 yards to go. (11 minutes, 30 seconds and counting to go until this one is final. Receiver split out right. That is Ripple. Goad in the shotgun with, I believe that's Jordan to his left. Goad with something of a play-action pass. No running back stayed with him. Now he's in deep trouble. Throws it away. There was no receiver anywhere near the area as Ripple had turned into a blocker at that point. And the pass goes incomplete. And it'll be second down and 10. Clock continues to roll. Down to 11 minutes to play. So it'll be second down, 10 yards to go. As, in fact, they will bring the flag out. Wait a minute. It's on Central City.
Yeah, we have too many guys on the field.
Too many guys in the field. Originally, I thought they were calling intentional grounding, but too many guys in the field against Central City. That is a big one. Up to the 38. It's a 15-yard penalty. So 1st and 10 for Springville from their own 38. The Orioles have 1st and 10 from their own 38. They come up to the line. Goad in the shotgun. Jordan to his left. Ripple split out right. Takes the snap. Play action pass. Looking. Gets it over to Jordan, has his leak out option, but Christopher Greif isn't having any of that. Makes the play. A flag did come in. Believe it was the umpire that threw that one. Here comes the call in just a moment. They're discussing it now. As it is, that was a loss of 2, and the flag is picked up, so no penalty on that play. The pass from Jordan Goad to Braden Jordan was complete, but they lost 3 yards. So it's going to be 2nd down and 13 to go from their own 35. Ten minutes to go in the ball game. New face onto the field for Central City. This is Colton Welton that just jogged in there. Not sure I've seen him play this year. Maybe got in against Key, but one of his first appearances at the varsity level. Now, last second, Brandon Hennick replaces Aiden Klosterman. Orioles come up to the line. Ripple split out left. Goad in the shotgun with Jordan to his left. Snap goes to Goad. Drops back. Sends one towards the near sideline. Nolan Gates jumps up. Tried to bat it away and may have had a chance to pick it off. Jumped for it, but the ball goes incomplete. And 3rd down, and 13 yards to go is upcoming. Orioles have it at their own 35-yard line.
Cooper McLaughlin checks in.
9 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the ball game. I believe Cooper McLaughlin just made an appearance on the field, and now coming into play in the middle, replacing Braxton Davis, is Colton Brown. So plenty of JV kids getting some of their first experience at the varsity level here tonight, as the Orioles have 3rd and 13 from their own 35. Ripple split out left. Goad in the shotgun. Jordan to his left. Takes the snap. Play action pass. Now he's in trouble looking to take off. He'll be trying to get past midfield. Christopher Greif can't make the tackle, but Nolan Gates can. As Goad picks up about 6 or 7 on the scramble. It will be 4th down upcoming. They're going to spot the football at the Wildcat 38-yard line. So a gain of 7. It's 4th down and about 6 from that 38-yard line. Bryce Ripple looking to get a play call. Now he runs back into the huddle alongside Jordan Goad. Orioles will go for it here on 4th and 6. 8 minutes to go in the game. 59-6. Wildcats leading this one. Twin receivers split out right. That's Goad and Ripple. It's Braden Jordan in the shotgun. He's only attempted 4 passes this year. Takes the snap, dropping back. Gets that one over towards the sideline. It's a wobbly pass, but it's caught by Jordan Goad. Gets it past the 20. Can't be brought down inside the 10. Brandon Hennick finally brings him down to about the 5. And Braden Jordan's 3rd completed pass of the year goes for nearly a touchdown. Jordan Goad, the recipient of that pass. He was brought out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. We'll call that the 6. So a gain of 32 on 4th and 6. 1st and goal to go for the Orioles from that 6-yard line. Orioles up to the line. Jordan in the shotgun. Goad and Ripple split out left this time. Takes the snap, dropping back. Looking over his options. Pump fakes. Now he's in trouble. Sends one towards the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Bryce Ripple was in the vicinity, but ball was not catchable, as the pass falls incomplete. 6:45 and counting to play. 59-6 again is the score. Orioles trying to get another touchdown. They did score the 1 on a 4th and goal play in the 3rd quarter. Jordan in the shotgun. Ripple is the receiver split out right. They've got Goad in the slot, Pass goes towards the far corner of the end zone. It's incomplete, but a flag comes in the back of the end zone. Pass was intended for Jordan Goad. The flag came in. We'll wait for a call. It was the umpire at the back of everything that threw the flag. Referee will give the indication here in a moment. As Connor Clark jogs on to play some defense. And offensive pass interference, I believe, goes against Springville. So they will march off some yardage. As that is a big penalty. It'll go all the way back to the 21. So a 15-yard penalty. The Orioles now have goal to go from the 21-yard line. It is second down. 6:10 to play in the game. Oriole football second and goal from the 21 as they break their huddle. They're looking to get lined up. Now they're looking to the sideline as now Luke Lansing will move over and play fullback. They're in the I formation. Ripple's the tailback. It'll go to him. Now it's a flea flicker as Jordan nearly stumbles. Now he's going to try to scramble. He will send one towards the back of the end zone, and it is caught as that's an Oriole touchdown. Braden Jordan, 21 yards to Jordan Goad. The Orioles get back on the board. See if they go for two. Remember last time they had a two-point conversion. One of the big linemen started doing the worm. So we'll see what they have in their back pocket here on this two-point attempt. Could be a field goal, and now the T comes in, so they will go for the PAT. Christian Anguiano, the kicker for the Orioles. He is 3 of 4 on extra points on the year. Caden Weber, who is one of the leading offensive players for the Orioles entering tonight. Haven't really seen him all night, but I believe he is their long snapper. He's now into the ball game, and he will do the snapping. Bryce Ripple will hold for Anguiano. And now a flag comes in, and a timeout was called by the Orioles. They were nearing a delay of game. So they'll use their second timeout of the second half. 5:41 to go in the ball game. It's a 59-12 lead for Central City. This won't be a long timeout as they just wanted to avoid the penalty. And now both teams are already back out there. I don't think the Orioles really ever left the field. So now the Orioles in the huddle. Last time they lined up for a PAT. Now they're taking their time. And they get the ready to play indication from the official. So Caden Weber will snap, Bryce Ripple will hold, and Christian Anguiano to attempt the point after. Good snap from Weber. Spot is down, kick on the way. It did sneak in there, in fact. So that sidewinder of a PAT somehow finds the middle of the post there, and it goes in for the extra point. 5:41 to play in the game, 59-13 lead for Central City. The Wildcats will get it back. We'll see what they do offensively. They haven't been super aggressive with their offense, as it's been a lot of JV kids. It hasn't really been any varsity starters out there. As I see an Oriole doing the gritty along the sideline. Down 59-13. So the Orioles will kick off. Christian Anguiano is kicked off twice. The first one was 6 yards deep into the end zone. The second one, Greif fielded at the goal line and returned up a couple yards shy of midfield. So Anguiano sets it. The same normal duo back deep to return, Aiden Klosterman and Lucas Greif. Anguiano puts his hand in the air. And now he comes up to the football. Sends it away. That's a good kick. And it will be fielded by Greif, but he's a yard deep. They're going to let him run it out. He's up past the 15 to the 20. Tries to break out of a tackle, but the kicker, Anguiano, brings him down to about the 25-yard line. I don't think Greif technically should have been able to take that one out, but we'll take the extra dozen or so yards of field position, as they will set that at the 26-yard line. 1st and 10 Central City, as it is all JV kids in there offensively now, as Cooper McLaughlin jogs into the huddle as the quarterback. Wildcats break their huddle. Up to the line. Colton Nowadsky that's going to be a 5-yard penalty, as Colton Nowadsky was in there and they had too many men break the huddle. But I think a timeout indication was just given. So Coach Myers may have used the timeout to avoid the 5-yard penalty. So timeout on the field. Central City's first. They've got 2 remaining in the game. 4:56 to play. 59-13 Wildcats. Give a quick shout out to Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank is a full-service community bank. We believe in meeting the needs of our customers while exceeding their expectations. Banking is personal to each individual, and that's why we provide options for your life. Member FDIC. So 1 timeout left for Springville, 2 for Central City, but this game is just a formality at this point and has been for a while. It's 59-13. Wildcats getting ready to get back on the bus with that trophy. Still some game to be played, as it's Cooper McLaughlin and Josh Lindsay in the backfield to take the snap. It goes to Lindsay, trying to use some blocks. Explodes past the hole. He's to the 35-30, 25-20. There goes Lindsay. He's gone to the end zone, as Josh Lindsay finds the end zone for the 2nd time on the ground of his career, and the Wildcats extend their lead. So the freshman gets back on the board. He's got great speed, does Lindsay. All he needs to do is find a hole. He can explode through it, and all of a sudden he's gone. Wildcats will go for 2. Lindsay and McLaughlin in the shotgun. This one goes to Brandon Hennick, the fullback, fighting ahead, still churning those legs. I'm not sure he got in. Waiting for an indication, and they're going to say he's not in there. So the 2-point conversion is no good. 4:46 to play in the game. Wildcats extend their lead. They are on top of the Orioles by a score of 65-13. So the Wildcats get the football back, and they go the length of the field in front of them. That was a 54-yard field. Josh Lindsay does it himself. And for Josh Lindsay, that is his 2nd touchdown run of his career. He has caught 1 pass. He connected with Cooper McLaughlin in the win against Key. Let's take a look at some statistics here. Whole bunch of players have touched the football. Josh Lindsay just ran that one. 3 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown for Lindsay. He is the 3rd best gainer on the ground behind the Closeman brothers. Matthew's got 82, and I've got Aiden at 193. So Favre Weber and Connor Clark will kick it away. Braden Jordan and Jordan Goad back deep to return.
Let me look. Is there a total for rushing yards for the Cats?
450 total yards rushing in this game for Central City, by the way. Favre Weber kicks it away. Fielded inside the 10, as now they're going to try the backwards pass, but oh my goodness, what a hit. Matthew Klosterman comes in and lays the boom on Braden Jordan as they were trying to do the backwards pass once again. But Braden Jordan turned around, and Jordan Goad was about 2 yards down the field compared to his location. That would have been an illegal forward pass. Instead, he gets blown up by Matthew Klosterman at the 11-yard line. So Oriole football, 1st and 10 from, we'll actually call that the 12. 4:12 and counting to play in the ball game. Orioles taking their time in the huddle. Still in the huddle. Have to be running low on clock as they now break the huddle. 1st and 10 from their own 12. I formation. Jordan under center. Goad is the tailback and Lansing the fullback. They will give it up the middle to Goad. Has some room. And Brandon Hennick closes that room quickly and drags him to the ground. Great tackle by Brandon Hennick. As it looked like Goad might have had some room, but it closed up quickly. Gain of about 3 up to the 15-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7, 3.5 minutes to play. The Orioles not in any particular hurry here. Down 65-13 late in this one. Same formation, they're in the I. Looks like Bryce Ripple is actually in there at quarterback under center. Lansing the fullback, Goad the tailback. It will be a pitch over to Goad on the right. Trying to find some room. Weber the DN, but he gets blocked. That's a 1st down as he's taken out of bounds by Josh Lindsay past the 20 up to about the 24-yard line. As they will spot that right at the 25. It's a gain of 10 and a 1st down for the Orioles. Bryce Ripple into the huddle with the play call.
Throw cash in for Chris.
2.5 minutes to go in the ball game as Cash Weber now makes his first appearance that I've seen at least of the night. He will play right defensive end. I formation for the Orioles. Ripple under center. Lansing and Goad the backs. And then this time it'll be Ripple keeping it himself. Down the near sideline, breaks a tackle. Going to be staying in bounds, finally taken out shortly before midfield, as it was Connor Clark and Colton Brown that got over there, as did Josh Lindsay. As that time he took it up to the 37-yard line, did Bryce Ripple. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Orioles, under 2 minutes to play. Got another substitution as number 12 is into the ball game. Who's number 12?
Our number 12?
Yeah.
Solid question.
Don't have a number 12 in my roster, so we'll just call him number 12 for the time being as the handoff goes to Luke Lansing up the middle. As the ball nearly came out, believe I heard Caden Kula is number 12. This is a taller, skinnier kid, so that makes sense. Marcus Shellhorn also into the ball game. As that time Luke Lansing brought it across midfield up to the 36 on his 2nd carry of the night. Gains about 7, so 2nd and 3 is upcoming. 1 minute and 10 seconds to play. Orioles break the huddle. Still in the I formation. Ripple under center. Lansing the fullback. Goad the tailback. Takes the snap. Fullback dive to Lansing, but Christopher Greif is there along with a couple of other white jerseys. As we will have maybe one more play here in this ball game. Nearly at the conclusion. A comment here from Chris Oldfather. Thank you, David, for broadcasting. We're at the Northland football game providing EMS, but listening to you. From Logan and Chris Oldfather. Logan and Chris, thanks so much for listening in, guys, and thanks also for your help over at that Northland game, making sure everybody's all right. Appreciate you, and we're more than happy to provide you with coverage of tonight's game. This will more than likely be the final play of the ball game for the Orioles. They're in the I formation. Ripple under center, takes the snap, pitch out to Goad. Now he's going to reverse field and go the other way. Stiff arms Cash Weber. Christopher Greif gets there, brings him out of bounds. 8 seconds to play, and that will just about do it. It was a gain of around 6 on that reverse play, and that will, in fact, do it. The clock hits all zeros. Our final score here from Springville, Central City 65, Springville 13. The Wildcats are all over the Orioles here tonight, and that Tractor Bowl trophy's going back to Central City. So once again, it is a 65-13 victory for your Central City Wildcats. They improved to 5-1 in the season, while the Orioles fall to 0-6. We'll have final statistics for you here in just a moment. It is a dominant performance by Central City, and they win with pretty much just JV kids playing that second half. So now let's take a look at the final numbers. First for Springville, Braden Jordan goes 3 of 5, 56 yards and a touchdown. Bryce Ripple 0 of 1 with an interception. Jordan Goad 1 of 6 for a loss of 3 and an interception. Bryce Ripple 13 carries, 58 yards and a touchdown, also had a fumble. Jordan Goad 12 carries, 55 yards. Luke Lansing 2 carries, 17 yards. And Braden Jordan 3 carries for 11 yards. Jordan Goad caught 2 passes, 53 yards and a touchdown. Bryce Ripple caught 1 for 3 yards. And Braden Jordan caught 1 for a loss of 3. Now for Central City, they only passed it twice. Aiden Klosterman, 1 of 1 for 14 yards and a touchdown. Matthew Klosterman, 1 of 1 for 8 yards and a touchdown. Passes went to David Munyakazi and Christopher Greif, respectively. And in the ground game, Aiden Klosterman, 10 carries, 193 yards, and 3 touchdowns. All of that came in the first half. Matthew Klosterman, 4 carries, 82 yards, and a touchdown. Josh Lindsay, 3 carries for 76 yards and a score. Dashni Munyakazi, 2 carries for 31 yards. Arwen Betzer ran it 3 times for 27 yards and a touchdown. Christopher Greif, 3 carries, 22 yards, and a fumble. Jaden Hansen, not really a rush, but I didn't know how else to put it into my stats here on my phone, so I gave him credit for the touchdown on that fumble recovery. And Lucas Greif, 1 carry for 6 yards. Looking at total offense here tonight, Springville rushed for 126 yards. They passed for 53, give them 179 yards of total offense. Central City rushed for 450, passed for 19, 469 total yards of offense. Very nice performance by the Wildcats here tonight, and they get the victory. So, folks, I will be back on the air 7 nights from now when the Wildcats go to Maynard to begin non-district play as they wind down the regular season, look ahead to postseason. But first up, West Central is up next. The Blue Devils, led by Coach Milder in his 52nd season at the helm of the high school football program. That's where the Wildcats will be next week. I'll have the pregame for you at 6:45, kickoff to follow at 7. If you can't make it out to Maynard, certainly tune in right here to Wildcat Sports on YouTube. So until next time, folks, I'm David Warrington saying good night and go Cats.